Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Outs here, Sunday morning. We have a game today against the Washington Wizards. I'm not totally feeling well, so I don't know how long I'll be on today. I've been really feeling sick in the last 24 hours, so I'm gonna try and get through everything as quick as I can and just rest for the rest of the day. So yeah, the 905 season ended yesterday. They had their last game against the Greensboro Swarm. They won, ending their record for the season even, exactly even. They ended up this year with this win last night. 16-16 is the record in the regular season for the 905 in the G League, and 8-8 away. So yeah, they beat the Greensboro Swarm. They split the series with them this weekend, winning 137-126. They were in good control for most of the game. They had a brilliant 47-point third quarter yesterday. It was fantastic. My 3 stars for the game for the 905 are Sterling Brown with 10 and 19, 7 to 12 from 3-point range, 6 assists, 28 points. David Johnson, 12 of 14, 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 29 points, and plus 14. And then Kyler Kelly, another double-double in the starting lineup, 7 of 9, 4 offensive rebounds with 10 altogether, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 16 points. Now, this was a great game for David Johnson and Sterling Brown. They actually scored their career highs, I believe. I know Johnson did. And this is an important game for David Johnson to make a big showing, because this is the game where people are trying to figure out what they're going to do with them for next year and stuff like that. In fact, I think Monique is saying something about this. She's saying Raptors front office working right now and looking ahead to the 905 season for next year. If you get what I mean. Incredible rookie season for Ron, Gabe. Eric Khoury will only get better. Pacers, come on. Okay, so she's talking about a couple of things here. I thought Ron was pretty good this year too. He's gotten better and better as the season went on. Really, really good. Gabe Brown was a unsung hero last night also. He was 7 of 13, 4 of 8 from 3, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 21 points. He could have been one of my 3 stars also, honestly. And then Williams off the bench, 7 of 12, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, plus 8, 18 points for Williams. Yeah, there were a lot of good players this year on 905. Some of them stood out more than others. I really like Gabe Brown. His 3-point shooting was really, really good this season, and I'm really hoping that he can make it to our team and just be a good 3-point shooter for us off the bench, because I think he could do that, honestly. Eric Khoury did not impress me this season, honestly. I know it's not totally his fault because, like we said, I was talking about this with Greg this week when we were at the game the other day, that, there's such a turnover with the 905. It's really hard for him to get any rhythm with his rotation and getting guys to understand their roles and getting some sort of like consistency, because there's too many players coming and going all through the season, new players all the time. And in some ways that doesn't benefit him. But in some ways I was not impressed with him. That, like, I feel like Mutombo before him was really good at getting more out of his players. That Patrick Mutombo was such a good motivator, somebody who really was stern and very holding guys accountable. And in some ways, I worry about that with Eric Khoury. I feel like he's a nice guy. I feel like he's a little bit of a pushover. And I just wonder, if he can really get these guys as motivated as possible as maybe another coach. Sometimes with the 905, it's not like a continuous thing. There's no guarantee he's going to be the coach next year. There really isn't. They could turn around and say, hey, we want to give this other guy a chance to coach the team next year. You got your chance, Eric. So we'll have to see. I don't know. I'm not that impressed with him, honestly. I watched these games and I didn't feel like he had a presence on court with dealing with the referees very well. I just didn't see. I don't know. I have a hard time seeing that he can motivate these guys to their best ability for some reason. Monique's also saying, good morning, everyone. Happy game day. Let's turn off Porzingis and the Wizards' water. After every episode of Hustle Play, Chris Boucher continues to have my love and support at all times. Seriously. All right. Yeah, I can get behind that, Monique. Yeah, the Wizards today, we're in luck. There's some major injuries today for them that will really shape their team. and we'll talk about them in a sec. Yeah, once again, Chris Boucher, amazing hustle play. The whole thing came out yesterday, really, really good. And then, of course, there's an open gym episode on him that came out yesterday also. So lots of content involving Chris Boucher coming out yesterday, and we'll talk about that more and stuff like that. Yeah. What else? You said that Pacers come on. I understand what you mean with that. Why didn't they beat Atlanta last night? We needed them to beat Atlanta, and they just did not come through last night. 143 for 130 for Atlanta over Indiana. And the crazy thing is, the Hawks lost Trae Young real early in that game. He got in big trouble last night. In fact, he's going to get fined. He might even get suspended for what he did, yelling at the ref and throwing the ref as hard as he could at Scott Wall, and then not leaving the court right away. So yeah, I think Trae Young might get suspended, and it was a pretty bad little situation on there. Not that I don't disagree with him about how the refs are shitty, but he really went crazy there. So that's going to be interesting to see the fallout with that. All right, Tom Duke is here. Sorry you weren't feeling good. I have a cold too. Maybe we got it off some polluted door handles in Scotiabank Arena. Let's whoop the Wizards. Good morning. I'm sorry to hear that, Tom, that you're not feeling well also. I'm not totally sure where I got it or what. Adriana's been around the last few days, and she wasn't totally feeling like she had a cough and a couple of weird things going on. So I don't know. It may be from the 2 days that we were hanging out, Tom, but who knows? I can't say for sure. All right, let's go ahead and do the injury report. All right, for today, the game is at 6:00, guys. Just so you know, it's a little bit earlier than normal today, so be ready for that. It's an early Sunday evening game. Our injuries for the Raptors are such tonight. Ron Harper Jr. is day to day. I don't know if that means he'll be suited up for the Raptors today or not. Who knows? We'll have to see. I'm sure he has tons of eligibility, so if he is dressed, he could play. Delano will not play today for sure. He's still ruled out with his thumb. This is too bad because this is really much like Justin last season. These being out for these games right now does not serve Delano, because in some ways we're seeing guys like Will Barton, Malachi Flynn, and Jeff Dowtin getting tryouts right now with time and games, and he would be getting some of this time if he was available. So this is not good that Delano's been hurt with his thumb for about a month now. That he needs to heal up. We don't need you to be going like your buddy Justin and not showing up for stuff because you're just hurt all the time. We need you to heal up, Delano. Take care of yourself and be available, because you're missing opportunities not being available. I know that you may not be able to control this, but we do want you out there because we need to see what you can do right now at the end of the season and how you can help us in play-in possibly. Scotty Barnes, day-to-day, questionable with his wrist. So I don't really expect these three guys to show up today, unfortunately. The guys that have been out, Scotty, Precious, and Gary, which is too bad because they're still just calling them questionable, and they have not been practicing. They did not practice again yesterday. So who knows what's going on with all that. Joe Weezy, he will not play today. It's his hamstring. So no Joe Wieskamp against the Wizards today. Precious, his hamstring also, but he's questionable technically. And so is Gary, questionable with his elbow. Of course, we know Gary took some hard hits in games recently, and that's why his elbow's messed up. Precious hurt his hamstring in a practice last week. Otto Porter, of course, out also. Now, on the Washington side, there are very important injuries and guys who will not play today for sure. Bradley Beal is out today with his knee. He will not play against the Raptors tonight. And Kyle Kuzma is out also tonight for sure. It's his ankle. So those are their two best scorers will not be available for the Wizards tonight. So in some ways, we really need to beat them because those are their firepower guys. Monty Morris is also questionable for today. He's day-to-day. It's his groin. He has soreness. Now, that's the thing. The Wizards have got, if those three guys are out, those are three of their starters, their two guards and Kyle Kuzma. And then they'll have the two big center guys. Porzingis, Gafford will be playing. And that means probably DeLon Wright will start today against the Raptors. And who else? Maybe Kispert may be starting. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll even bring up the rookie Johnny Davis and start playing him a bit more. Now, without these two main scorers, Bradley and Kyle, this makes this team a lot easier to beat. We really do, like Monique said, have to contain Porzingis if he's going to be their main weapon. Really watch out for him. And of course, we love having Jakob Pearl now to take those kind of assignments. The thing is, the Wizards, listen, they're not really doing what we're doing. They're losing a lot right now. Like, it's weird. Like, they won Friday against the Spurs, but they had lost 4 straight before that, and only one against Detroit in their last 8 before that. So they're really like 2-7 in their last 9 games. So they're really not playing at a high level or winning a lot right now. So we need to go ahead and beat their ass today. There's a couple of reasons why. Other than we really need the win for our win total and our regular season win total, we also need to win the season series with them just in case. I don't think that they're going to come up and make a difference in the standings against us, but they could. There is this off chance that we may end up tied with them at some point at the end of the season, and there may be a tiebreaker. Well, we need to win today because we split the 2 games with them in Washington just a couple weeks ago. Now we got to make sure we win the 3rd game, the rubber match. And that way we can have tiebreaker just in case there's any funny stuff or weirdness where we're even with them at the end of the year. So, yeah, there's your injury report. A lot of big names out for the game today. Luckily, we'll have Fred, Pascal, Jakob, OG, and all those guys to really hopefully beat down the Washington Wizards today. It'll be really good, hopefully. Let's see. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. Hope you feel better soon. Got to get a COVID test so you know what meds are needed. Raptors 905 season 500 is good, seeing that players were in and out. Coloco improved in 905. Yeah, I mean, we will be happy to get a 500 record for our regular team, like the 905. Their whole season was very 500, the 905 this year. And it is what it is. I'm pretty positive I don't have COVID. I have all my taste and smell and everything, and it really is like it's a weird like a head cold, I think, where I have very achy sinuses, but it's definitely, I don't think it's COVID. I had COVID before, and I remember what it felt like, and I can taste everything, and I can smell everything, and it's not exactly how I felt when I had COVID right now. I think this is just like a weird spring flu, like spring fever or something. I don't know. Monique's saying taking my niece, 12-year-old, to her first ever game with me this afternoon. That's awesome, Monique. That's fun. You can get her all into the Raptors, just like you. I'm sure she's just as much into the Raptors as her auntie is. That's awesome. So that's the kind of stuff we love to hear. Memories. Will you go get the certificate that says this is her first game ever? Go get that from the front with the thing. That'd be awesome. Oh, you go, Monique and niece. Yes. Isaac Campbell say 100% at Mo. Chris Boucher is a lovely Canadian. Yeah, these were great content things that were dropped yesterday. Let's start with the open gym first. That open gym was fun. He's had a few on him so far this, in his career with the Raptors. We have a few Chris Boucher open gym episodes, but this one was different. This one was more about his lifestyle and the way he looks at things. And it was cool. We got to meet his sister and his brother and know a little bit more about his home life and the way he views like being in the NBA and things like what is important to him in life. And that's really cool. I really like getting to know Chris even better from the open gym episode. It wasn't a super long open gym episode, but it was fantastic and very cool to see his siblings and the people in his inner circle that kind of the people he depends on and cares about and has around him. Chris is just a great guy. He's a great Canadian and he's a great Raptor. And we really do appreciate having him on our team. Now, the whole interview with him, Hustle Play with Alvin Williams and Mike Roach was fantastic. I knew it would be. Alvin's such a pro. He's so good at he's just getting more and more polished in media kind of things. And in this situation, in this interview, you could really tell like he was so outspoken but measured and just like really, man, Alvin's just a badass. Like this guy is really, really smart. And some of the stuff he said on the Hustle Play with Chris Boucher was just so astute and so on top of it. One of his big talking points that he's been talking about on Raptors Tonight and on the Hustle Play podcast was the whole idea about the MVP race. And this is becoming a hot button topic right now that he believes he hates this whole MVP race hype all season. that he feels like it just is it's kind of dumb. They started so early, and they'll have like 5 players that they consider MVP candidates, and they'll kind of like just look at them. And his gripe is that there's other guys that need to be considered around the league, and they really just kind of like pick 5 guys and say these are the MVP candidates, and then everybody accepts them and they go forward with that, and it goes on all year. And he has problems with some of this stuff. I totally get what Alvin's saying. In fact, I agree with him. That it's all media hype. It's all ESPN like fodder for content, and them to have segments for them to talk about the MVP race, Jokic, Embiid, this and that, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's silly, and it's annoying, and it starts right from the start. And it's almost like they anoint who will be the nominees way sooner than they should. That they should actually let the season start happening, and then maybe like let people kind of decide. But there's also a push on. I'm seeing today that Zach Lowe on ESPN is saying that he doesn't think the media should determine any of the awards after the season. That the sports writers vote for MVP and all NBA and all that kind of stuff, and in some ways they control the money and the incentives that these players get. So it's like if the players are jerks in interviews and they don't like them, they don't have to reward them by giving them votes for awards in the postseason, and that can hurt the player financially. So Zach Lowe, who's a very interesting personality on ESPN, he's like got all kinds of good takes. Usually, I'm very interested in his take on this because he's saying that he doesn't think that the media people like him should be in charge of deciding bonuses and incentives for the players just because they vote for these awards. It's very interesting talk around the MVP award. Some people are saying it's a dumb award anyway. That it's like honestly, I've heard some people say recently the MVP for the finals is the one that really matters. The MVP for the season, who gives a shit? It's like yeah, whatever. But the MVP for the finals, that usually means something that you won and that you were the best player in the finals. So I don't know. The NBA's got to figure this all out in some ways. And I agree. Like the other point that Alvin had about the MVP race is he wants a two-way player. He doesn't like Jokic winning this because he's not a good defensive player. And that in some ways he's got Embiid as his number one candidate to win the MVP this season. And I can't disagree with that kind of like logic that in some ways, you can be a really good offensive player and put up tons of numbers. But if you're not stopping the guy at the other end, well, your plus minus won't look that good because you got 30, but you gave up 30 also. And that's what Alvin was saying. And so he's very much firmly in the Joel Embiid for MVP camp. And I respect that. I really appreciate him espousing his views on the MVP race recently. And hopefully people will listen and more people will echo what he's saying. Because in some ways, I agree with him. It's not totally fair to the players. It's not fair to guys who don't get anointed with the MVP race, like kind of like a nominee. And that there's other guys in the league that very much should be considered for MVP, but they don't get any shine or talk about it by the ESPN and NBA media machine during the year. And that's too bad because there are a lot of deserving guys that should be considered. It's people like he brought up Steph Curry. Steph Curry's not even talked about in the MVP race. I know that Golden State's been kind of mid, but it is what it is. I like that they're all talking about this kind of stuff a lot right now. All right, let's see. Race Mode Daily's here. Good morning. It's always great to start the morning with Lex and the crew. You go, Edmund. I see you're in Miami right now. Ooh, Edmund's down in Miami, Florida, staying warm and doing all kinds of fun stuff. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, let's see. We got the standings. Let's look at the standings real quick because in some ways we got to do standings watch tonight, of course, once again. Too bad that Indiana couldn't beat Atlanta, Monique, for sure. Very interesting game last night with the Miami Heat and the Brooklyn Nets. Late in the game, in the second half, that Heat could not score at all, and Brooklyn came from behind and really trounced them by 29 points by the end of the game. It was ugly. And Udonis Haslem and some of the other Miami Heat players are pretty upset about it because it didn't look good. And in fact, what happened with that game, Brooklyn flip-flop back out of the play-in and into the regular playoff spot, and Miami's back in the play-in with us because of the outcome of that game last night. That is disheartening. I mean, it was Kyle Lowry's birthday, y'all, and y'all didn't even get up and try and win the game for him. What's wrong with y'all, Miami Heat? Denver beat Milwaukee last night in the battle of the top teams in both conferences. That's impressive to me, considering how much Denver's been struggling, and Milwaukee has been a juggernaut, just winning like crazy. Philly went to Phoenix and lost last night. That's an interesting game to me. So tonight, other than our games that we kind of have to watch out for as Raptor fans, Atlanta will be playing again tonight, hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's hope that Ja Morant and company can get a good win over the Atlanta Hawks tonight. That would be very, very good. Chicago is in LA playing the Lakers, and they're going to play the Lakers a couple games very soon. And it's funny because Patrick Beverley's talking major trash, telling Anthony Davis and LeBron James, his teammates from earlier in the season, that he's coming there to beat their ass and that he wants to put them out of the play-in and get them in the play-in higher. So the Bulls are on a mission in LA against the Lakers today. They want to beat them. It's 3:30 is the tip-off. San Antonio is in Boston. Maybe they can do something fun. Houston's in Cleveland. That's probably going to be a Cleveland win. Brooklyn in Orlando. It'd be nice to see Orlando beat Brooklyn because in some ways, once again, I really do want the Brooklyn Nets in the play-in spot against us at the end of the year. If we can make it all work out that way, where Miami is up back in a regular playoff spot and Brooklyn's in the play-in against us in the higher play-in bracket and Atlanta's below us, that is the ideal situation in my eyes. That we want to be playing the Nets in Barclays Center for one game in the play-in and beat their ass and get a matchup against the Boston Celtics in the first round. That is what I'm looking at. And that's kind of what I want, guys, because it'll be good. It'll be good all around. All right. Let's keep going with stuff. All right. Let me see. Here's our ref crew for today for the Washington game. Tonight, our crew chief is Courtney Kirkland. He is from Flint, Michigan. He now lives in Atlanta, Georgia. His favorite TV show is Billions. His favorite movie is The Matrix. His favorite book is Total Money Makeover, and his favorite app is NBA. Now, Courtney Kirkland does not get food, Tom, because he has not put any food down for what he wants. So we don't care. You're not getting nothing, Courtney. I'm sorry. He's kind of a jerk to us. I'm not going to lie. Now, I will say this about him. He is great off the court. He has been involved in efforts to curb homelessness in Atlanta, Georgia, where he lives. And he also helps in Flint, Michigan, to help with the water efforts there. There's problems with the water in Flint, Michigan. These are two of his causes that he tries to help out with, Courtney Kirkland. Now, his record with us is not good, guys. He is our worst ref tonight in some ways, but in some ways he isn't. Courtney Kirkland, we win 43% of the time. We lost the last time he refereed for us, but the Washington Wizards only win 35% of the time. So our split with Courtney Kirkland, our crew chief today, is 43-35 for the Raptors. So neither team does really well underneath them, but we do slightly better. The second ref is our friend. He's our guy. It's Curtis Blair, guys. He's in his 16th season as a ref. He's from Roanoke, Virginia. He still lives in Virginia. His favorite TV show is Dexter. He likes that movie where they sing, "You're the one I want." Woo-hoo-hoo. He likes Grease, y'all. His favorite musician is Casey and JoJo. He'd most like to visit Brazil, and his hidden talent is tennis. His favorite meal is lamb curry. Curtis Blair was drafted by the Houston Rockets in the second round of the 1992 NBA draft. He played professionally in Australia, Austria, and Turkey. So maybe he'll give some shine to Big Yak since he's been to Austria. Curtis is our favorite ref tonight by far. We win 61% of our games when he is refereeing, and the Wizards only win 47%. So 61-47 split for the Raptors. And we won the last game that Curtis Blair was present at for our game. So he is definitely our friend on the ref crew. The third ref is the one that's probably the worst ref for us. And that's Natalie Sago, guys. We got Natalie again today. Her 6th season out of St. Louis, Missouri. She likes the TV show I Almost Got Away with It. So her favorite movie is Hardball. Her favorite musician is Pink. Her favorite book is Legacy and the Queen. Her favorite app is Instagram. She most like to visit Fiji. Her hidden talent is juggling, and she would like pizza. So we got pizza. And what did Kurtz want? Lamb curry. And Courtney don't want nothing. He's starving. Maybe he's fasting or something. I don't know. Yeah, Sago was part of Farmington basketball team that finished as the Missouri State runner-up in 2007 in high school. She played softball for Jefferson College from 2007 to 2009 and Drury University from 2009 to 2011, serving as team captain for both schools. So she played basketball and softball in university. Natalie is, we win 44% of our games when she's around. We lost the last game she refed. And meanwhile, the Wizards win 63% of their games. So the split is 44-63 for the Wizards with Natalie Sago. She is the worst ref for us. But Courtney's not much better. I'm going to tell you that right now. Courtney, Kirkland, and Natalie Sago are not very friendly refs to the Raptors. But meanwhile, Curtis Blair is pretty good. So there's your ref crew. Hopefully they'll be all right. We'll see. Natalie's Natalie. Jimmy's saying, I'm praying our guys get healthy as ASAP. Yeah, me too, man. I'm just like them. I'm on the DL right now myself. Oh, I feel like crap. Like I'm all achy all around. Like, I just got to lay down for a little bit. Monique's saying, after Jeff Dowtin's last game, expect more minutes. Yeah, I hope so. I think that he'll play more today. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this game goes and see how heavy they have to play the starters. And maybe it won't be close. And maybe it'll get busted wide open. And we'll get to play a lot of the bench tonight. That'd be great. Denal saying, speaking of Miami, Gabe Vincent isn't really impressing me over Lowry. And Kyle brings a lot more to the table. Sad to see how they tried to pin everything on Kyle. Miami's got so much dysfunction. They're really weird. Like if they weren't vet and so old, I would have they suck. But Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, those guys are tough guys, and they'll try and find a way to win, even if there's chaos, even if there's guys on the team that aren't getting along, even if there's like Jimmy Butler getting mad at the coach saying that you want to choke me or something like that, and then Udonis Haslem wants to fight Jimmy Butler. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with that team. Whether it's Jimmy Butler leaving the court early. There's been all kinds of weird stuff. I don't get it. The Miami Heat are a really mess. Isaac saying Dowtin deserves a bag. Okay, I can see that, Isaac. I can see that. We'll see what happens with old Jeffrey. Country Kong's here. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. What a beautiful Sunday we've been blessed with. Well, wishes Lex feel better soon. I'm excited for our matchup with the Wizards. Let's get a big W today. Let's go Raptors. You go Country Kong. What a positive message. Yeah, I had the window open. I don't have, it's nice and warmer. It's starting to get more spring-like in Toronto. Thank God. We all enjoy that. It's much better than the alternative. Tom Duke has got the food out already. He's got pancakes for Courtney. I guess he just wants to give him pancakes just to be ready. I'm guessing that's lamb curry for Curtis. And then he's got the pizza for Natalie. So, yeah, let's get a nice big lead on the Wizards, kick their butt for most of the game so we can play more of our bench, get more time with Will Barton out there, and get him more integrated in some ways. Monique's saying a new Fred VanVleet Foundation family partnership via Mama Sue. Okay, that's cool. So Sue Danforth has a new Fred VanVleet Foundation family partnership. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Always good stuff going on with these guys. Fred and Thaddeus. Thaddeus doing a business talk recently. These guys are keeping busy, and they got all kinds of things going on in their lives, and that's pretty cool. All right, let me see. What else do I need to talk about? Well, I guess I'll do the real mascot matchup. And like I said, I don't want to be on here too long just because I'm not feeling the best. All right, so last time we saw the real mascot matchup, they're about to get arrested, and the yak has peed on the police car. And Tony Officer Malloy, and Officer Foster are in the car. And Officer Malloy was thrown off the yak. So they think that it's an assault, but Officer Malloy's kind of telling them no. But Officer Foster's like, yeah, we want to nail them. So they're thinking about taking them to jail. Well, Will the Wizard feels bad. And he's telling the Raptor, he's like, look, man, I understand all these problems that are going on with us right now. It's all because of the yak. The yak is, pooping at the beach, peeing on the police car, throwing the cop in the ditch. And, I feel like it's my responsibility since it's my dude. And I've been walking around with this yak for a while. And it's not you, bro. So just go. Just run, Raptor, is what he's saying, basically. Will the Wizard is ready to step in and be a sacrificial, to help the Raptor get away and not have to go to jail. And it's very like kind and very great. In some ways, Will says, I'm going to do some magic real quick as a wizard and help you get away faster, Raptor. So just go, run, go. And so him and the yak are going to try and stop the cops from coming after him. Well, the cops pull out their guns and they start shooting bullets at the Raptor as he's trying to get away and run away. And they're like, hey, you can't get away, because they want to catch him too. And well, the Raptor is getting pew, pew, bullets flying behind him. Bullets. Yeah, this is a reference to the old name for the team. Yeah. And Will the Wizard says he's going to try and cause a distraction and help the Raptor get away. Well, we'll have to see. Does the Raptor get fully away? Will the Wizard finally show some true magic and help the Raptor in this situation? Will be able to help the Raptor? We'll have to find out next time on the Real Mascot Matchup. Will he cause a diversion and cause enough to help the Raptor get away from getting arrested by these cops? All right, there you go. There's your Real Mascot Matchup. All right, let's see. Denal saying Dowtin isn't a starting point guard for sure, but he's a super solid backup, very steady and reliable. Some people have described him as a really good like fifth guard in the rotation. He's not necessarily a backup point guard either. He's the third guard in the rotation, but he can also do other guard positions. Like he can play the two if they need him to play the two. So he's like a utility fifth guard on a roster. And I think that's a perfect role for him right now. In some ways, he could be maybe the backup point guard, but I don't know. Some people are saying that he's best as like the third point guard and just a break in case of emergency kind of point guard. We'll have to see. Jimmy's saying, yeah, finally good enough weather to put in my new timing belt in my car. You've been waiting. All right. So we know Jimmy is. He's going to be out in the driveway, working on his car, getting it all ready to go cruising in the nice weather around the GTA. You go, Jimmy Pope. Pope of Positivity is ready to hit the road and get out there. Shir Khan's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. No Beal and Kuz today, so should be able to get it done. Lots of people have been sick past few weeks. I also had the flu last week, so maybe something going around with changing the weather and season. Yeah, that's what I think it is. We're getting a little warmer. It's spring, and there's spring fever, and sometimes people get a little sick just when the seasons change. And I think that's what it is right now. In fact, I got sick this time last year also. It just seems like it's right around this time of year. I will get a little sick. But cool. Yeah, good points, Shir Khan. With no Bradley and no Kyle Kuzma, that they have a lot less scoring superpower in their team. Are they going to find people in their backups positions to come and step up and really get some points in their absence? I don't know. I mean, let me look and see who they have after those guys to come in. Like, obviously, Porzingis is somebody they could try and lean on, but in some ways, he's the kind of guy that you can really like focus on. You will cut off his water easy. So in some ways, we look out for Porzingis. We got to look out for their double center matchup. In some ways, this may be fun. What if we're playing Koloko and Yak a lot tonight? Maybe we'll see more Boucher and Koloko line up tonight because their length will go up really good against Porzingis and Gafford out there, because their two best players are basically going to be two centers tonight. So we may see like a Pirtle and Koloko together on the court. We may see more of that Koloko and Boucher combo that we saw in the last game also. And I'm all about that, because I don't see anybody who's going to step up and score. I mean, Khoury Kispert is an interesting scorer and shooter, but I don't think he can take fully over. Maybe Johnny Davis will have a very featured role tonight. In some ways, he's the most talented scorer that's left on this team without Beal and Kuzma. So it could be Johnny Davis steps up tonight. I don't know. I'm trying to look at this and figure out who's going to be scary or possibly a problem. And I don't see a lot of it. I mean, DeLon's not going to go off. And in any way, we can like probably shut down DeLon. Denny Avida? No, that guy's not going to do it. I would really think it's either going to be Johnny Davis or Kispert. Kispert possibly could get going. But honestly, he's not a very athletic guy. He's really a role player. And in some ways, he's probably easy to contain too. So I just don't get it. We'll have to see what happens today with them. And maybe they're going to be very focused on going to the low post with Porzingis and Gafford a lot tonight. So maybe we can take that away from them. That'd be good. Some keys to the victory. Let's match their length with their double center lineup and really kick their butt and beat them at that position. Because in some ways, we'll have better talent overall, other than that position, and we can really, really beat them overall. That way. That's what I'm hoping. OG, Pirtle, Pascal, Fred, those guys will beat the guys that are on this team. No offense to you, DeLon Wright. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Denal saying, Jimmy, come give me a hand fixing my brake master cylinder and coolant temp sensor. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he should start a little pit stop at his driveway. Anybody who wants to come by, Jimmy maybe can help you out or give you some advice. I don't know. Laughing my ass off, Denal. I have faith the guys are going to get it done tonight. Hope they give Scotiabank a show. I do too. I really do too. Hopefully Monique and her niece will go down there and get a good victory. I know Cool Cat will probably be at the game also. And just good vibes. Let's bring the good vibes down there and get a good W. We need to get closer to 41 wins as possible. We are now at how many wins? We got 36 wins. We need 5 more wins in our last games. This is one that matters. This is one that we need to get. This is one that we very much need to get and help us in our quest to still make a higher part in the play-in and get further in the postseason. So we need to do that. G saying Boucher, Coloco, Precious, Dowtin, and Gary would be an interesting look. The defense would be intense. Yeah, I like that. I like that front court. Dowtin and Gary. Yeah, I could see that. I could see them being an interesting backcourt too. I like that, G. I like that a lot. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Like I said, I don't feel well and kind of just want to get this all done quickly today and lay down for a bit. But yeah, just a real quick recap. The Raptors injuries for today are quite extensive. Delano Banton out because of his thumb. Ron Harper Jr. is day-to-day. Scotty Barnes is questionable. Joe Wieskamp is out. Precious is day-to-day and questionable. Gary is also day-to-day and questionable. And then Otto Porter Jr. is out for sure. You know that. Wizards are saying that Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma are definitely not playing today, and that Monty Morris, their point guard that starts, is also questionable for the game today also. So lots of injuries for the game. 905 finishing up their season with a great 11-point victory over the Greensboro Swarm to finish 16-16 for the season. Kyler Kelly, David Johnson, Sterling Brown, Gabe Brown shining in the game yesterday. Also Williams off the bench, 7-12 with 18 points, looking pretty good. The Canadian kid McEwen was a plus 28 and had 13 points also. Ryan Hawkins, 3-pointer, 3 points, and that's it. And then Daryl Morsell in the starting lineup with 9 points. They didn't have a lot of players for 905, but they did a good job beating down the Greensboro Swarm last night. So I don't know how to deal with the 905 season and say, oh, is it a success? Was it a failure? I don't even know. Maybe it was exactly what it is. 16-16, a 500 season. That's what it was. All right. We got to hope some of these teams lose today. We're hoping that Memphis can beat the Atlanta Hawks today for sure. And we can beat the Washington Wizards tonight also. Check out the Chris Boucher Hustle Play with Alvin Williams. It's fantastic. I won't go over more about that if you guys want to bring it up at other times. But for now, we just let it be. And then Open Gym, new Open Gym, all about Chris Boucher also. So it's a big Chris Boucher weekend. Also a big Alvin Williams weekend with him all over the place in different places also. Let's see. Race Mode saying, get well soon, my brother. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate that, my man. And Nameless is saying, good morning, Lee La Mia Gente, my people. Good morning, La Mia Gente. I like it. Tom Duke saying, sleep it off, Lex. Let's fucking go, Raptors. Cheers, Nameless. Enjoy the day, Raptor Freak family. You go, Tom Duke. Thank you for all you do, and I hope you feel better also, too. Real quick, the referees once more. Courtney Kirkland is our crew chief today. Curtis Blair is the second ref, and he is our friend. And then Natalie Sago is not our friend. Then she is the third ref tonight. So kind of fitting we get her the day after Kyle's birthday. Yeah, Natalie. All right, y'all. Have a great day, and I'll be back to react to the game tomorrow. I hope everybody has a nice, restful Sunday and good times. Do it the way you would. I'm still going to work out. I got to still do all the things I got to do to get ready for this game today. And hopefully it'll be a good, big victory for the Raptors at 6 o'clock tip-off, guys. Be ready for it. Let's see. Denal saying, feel better, Lex. Go Raptors. Thank you, Denal. Y'all have a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. to react to the game today. All right, let's go Raptors. Let's beat those Wizards. We need to win this season series. We lost one and won one in Washington. We got to win this one. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Thank you, MSJ. I appreciate that, man. All right, let's go.